This is a little bit of my World War II collection of basically Commonwealth gear and weapons. It's a number 4 Mark I Lee Enfield in 303. 2 stripper clips with full metal jacket rounds in them. Pocket knife that would have been carried by most Canadian and British soldiers. Has a marlin spike on it. The springs on this thing are really stiff. Marlin spike for undoing wet rope and frozen rope. A bail. A lot of times you see guys, they would just carry them hung on a string from their belt. It has a can opener, and that actually worked very well. I actually keep this knife in my day pack. I've used it quite a bit. And then a spay type blade, basically a straight edge on it. This particular one was made by a company called Taylor. A lot of different companies made these, usually the Sheffield type knife companies. But the focus of this video would be this knife right here, which is a Fairbairn Sykes Commando knife or Commando dagger. Some people insist that it's a dagger, but I call it a knife. Comes in a leather scabbard with a steel shape on it so the point doesn't go through it. The original scabbards had, and this one did as well, leather tabs with holes punched in it so you can sew it to your battle dress. I've never seen a picture of anybody that actually did that during World War II. I cut mine off. It just works better for me. I just use the belt loop. It has an elastic retaining strap which works. I'm not in love with it though. The knife itself has an alloy handle that's round with ringed grooves on it. The first and second models had a brass handle with check ring cut into it. This is a third model. Crossguard is steel. It's just the right size. It's carbon steel blade, 7 inches long, double edged, with a very fine point. One of the criticisms of this knife was that you could break the point, but that sharp point makes it easy to stab with. Some people claim that this knife doesn't cut well, and maybe if it isn't sharpened properly it won't. I spent a lot of time sharpening this knife. It stabs easy and it cuts easy, so I think it cuts just fine. Carbon steel blade. This one was quite shiny, so I put a forced patina on it. It gives it a little bit of character. One of the criticisms of the design was that because the handle is round, the knife could rotate in your hand a little bit. I sprayed the handle of this knife with box liner, which is a rubbery compound, and it's very tactile. It feels good. It's not going to slip in your hand. Some knife aficionados say that because of the round handle, you can't tell where the cutting edge is. Maybe if you hold it like this, but anytime where you can feel that crossguard, you know where the cutting edge is. So when you're doing a drill where, you know, slash, stab, stab, you know exactly where the cutting edge is. The knife was designed by W.E. Fairbairn and E.A. Sykes, who had been members of the Shanghai Municipal Police, which in the 1930s, that was the most violent city in the world. They were a pair of fairly rough customers. When the World War II started, they came back to England to help train Commandos and OSS, basically Sneaky Pete type people in combat techniques. They found that they didn't have a fighting knife in England at the time, so they designed this one based on, so the story goes, some originals that Sykes and Fairbairn had built in Shanghai out of old bayonets. So this is the knife they came up with, 7-inch blade, which would be long enough to penetrate into the vitals of a fairly big soldier wearing heavy winter gear. And the knife was very successful. It's iconic really for special forces. Cap badges for both American Special Forces and the British SAS feature a dagger type knife. The first Special Service Force, the famous Devil's Brigade, they made their own knife which is similar to this. I had one of those called the V42. It's a good knife. I don't like it as well as this one. It has a leather handle It doesn't have the weight in the back. This knife just balances nice. It just fits right into your hand. So as far as a fighting knife, I think this is an excellent choice. It's not the best bush knife. It's not like a K-bar because it's double-edged. It just doesn't lend itself to general all-purpose stuff. You can do it, but it's not ideal for it. It's designed as a fighting knife, and that's what it's best used for. That is my review of the Fairbairn Sykes Commando knife.